What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Earthrise Starscream. Now this came out a little while ago. We're going to take a look at it today. You do have an image of Starscream on the side here, although he's a little bit orange. I'm not sure why they've colored him that way, but there's his image. On the side you've got the traditional Earthrise image there, and then on the back you got some product shots. It does show that he's compatible with the Battle Masters. That's really it for the packaging. Then you get the instructions manual here. Again, a nice instruction manual. This one has 30 steps to transformation, although it doesn't feel like it, but it's a little bit longer than the other Earthrise figures we've had. Overall, still pretty good instructions, just like the rest of them. That's really it for the packaging. Let's take the figure out and see how cool it actually is. And here we have the figure out of his packaging, and he looks pretty good. Let's take a quick 360, and we also put the G1 cartoon image up there. You can see some nice paint detail on the intakes here and on the chest, all painted up, and also the waist here. Nice paint detail on the head here, the side. Pretty good profile, not too big of a backpack. You've always got the nose cone here, but that is part of his design. Here you got on the side of the legs, you've got the fins here for the plane mode, but it looks okay. Here's the back, pretty clean. You got a little bit of waffliness here, but not too bad overall. Pretty good in robot mode. I kind of like it. The only thing that it kind of bothers me is a lot of gappiness here on the torso. But other than that, pretty nice robot mode here. He's got some nice detail, nice paint overall. Let's get on this head sculpt here and take a look. You've got some nice painted red eyes there. Kind of hard to see, but and then you got the black paint and then the silver paint for the face. All that looks really good. I think they did a great job with the overall aesthetic of this guy. Pretty good looking. As far as weapons, the accessories are already attached. That's pretty much all he comes with. You get these two null rays. Null rays can be attached in different places. You can take them off here and you can reattach them in different spots. So one spot you can attach it to is the underside of his arm here. So you can get it like that, which does look kind of weird, especially with the gap right here. That doesn't look too good. The best place is definitely on the side of his arm, but you can also put it here into his hand, and that doesn't sit very well. It kind of is loose, so that's not the best option, but you can do that. But overall, the best place is on his shoulders, as it should be according to the G1 cartoon. Let's go over articulation here. So you do get the head on a ball joint, you get the side to side, it rotates all the way around, and you get up to here and down to there, which is pretty good. Shoulders go up to there. You can rotate all the way around. All the wings do get in the way. You can, and everything is tight on this guy. Every single joint is tight. You can articulate here on the null ray. The shoulder is on it, or the bicep has a rotation. You get a single jointed elbow, 90 degrees. The wrist is on a pivot here, but that's really all you get. There's no other rotation there. There is no waist rotation on this guy. It's kind of a disappointment. I feel like they could have done that. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. Seems like they could have fit that in here just based on the previous figures. All the other figures have had a waist rotation. No ab crunch either, but none of the others have had ab crunch. I just wish it had the waist rotation. You do get a, let's put the arm up so you can see, leg rotation up to there, back to there, but hindered by all this backpack junk, and then out to there. Everything is really tight. There's a lot of hindrance. It doesn't get all the way up. There's a lot of hindrance around this leg. I'm not sure why they designed it that way. And then you get a rotation of the thigh. I feel like I've been forgetting the thigh rotation on all of these guys, but they all have thigh rotation. Again, everything is really, really tight on this guy. You get a more than 90 degree bend at the knee, which gets you all the way up to there, so you can get some pretty nice articulation there. You get a angle rocker all the way out to there. Not really ankle tilt, but you get toe tilt right here, and you get the heel tilt the wrong direction. So you can kind of get him articulated on the ankle, but that's not really the issue. The issue is the waist does not rotate, and you don't have an ab crunch like some of the more modern day Transformers we've been getting. Right, but there he is, plenty of articulation. Oh, and I forgot this. The wings do articulate back like this. It doesn't really help with articulation, honestly, and it's not necessary for transformation, but I guess you can put them back, give them a little bit of angle, a little bit of style. So that looks good. And for a quick comparison here is the Earthrise Wheeljack, and he looks pretty good with him. He is obviously taller. I think this scale kind of makes sense. I mean, all of these robots are pretty well scaled. It's the vehicle modes that aren't that well scaled, but this looks fine to me. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. It is a fun transformation, just like all of the other Earthrise figures, but there are a couple of steps that are a little bit trickier. It does have more steps than the typical Earthrise. So first, take off these null rays and set those aside. You can just set them down right here. Let's take out the arms first. So open up these panels here. You'll see there's a little tab right here. That's going to fit through the hole. So make sure you open this up, and according this down, you can see the gray thing should fit through. You can fold this down, and that should sit like that. Okay. So same on this side. Open this up. Make sure you're cording that down, and that fits through the hole like that. Fold this down and fold that in. Right, so you should have the arms kind of up and in that position. Now you can move these to the side. You do want to unpeg this chest. The chest is pegged in right here. You can just kind of stick a fingernail in and open that up. That'll get that all of that out of the way. Flip this out of the way like this. Rotate it around. And then close this up and push this up into here and let that sit there. And that takes care of that whole cockpit there. Okay. Fold this down, fold that inwards, fold this down, fold that inwards, and that takes care of all of that. You can close this up, and that should tab back in on both sides, like that. For now, just fold these wings downwards, but we're going to have to take care of this a little bit later, so just leave them up for now. Now let's take care of the legs. So the legs, fold this upwards, fold this down, open up this panel here, and this is going to accordion the leg downwards, and then fold this back down once you get that all. And you can kind of see that it's going to have to peg in here. So while you're doing that, click this back down. Okay. Rotate this foot closed on both sides. And we'll take care of this in just a minute. So same on this side, open up this panel, fold it downwards, make sure it clips in up here. And close this down on top. You can peg them together and make sure it pegs into there. Fold this down. Rotate this upwards and get it pegged in right here. So both sides should be pegged in. This one kind of already pegged itself in, but make sure you get that pegged in. And it should look like this from the back. If it's not straight, straighten everything out. The last thing you want to do is get these wings pegged in. So there's a peg right here and here. So get those pegged in. Ooh, and if it pops off like that, no problem. Just put it back on. But get it pegged in to both spots like that. Same on this side. Get it pegged to the front and the back. And you can feel it if it get into there. It does peg in nice and secure. And then fold this panel down. Take the guns and peg them back into the wings. You can also peg them into the sides here if you prefer that. Although I would argue it looks better on the wings, but you can put it either place. We'll just leave it there for now. And straighten everything up. And there you have Starscream all transformed up into his vehicle mode. Let's take a quick 360 and we'll put the G1 cartoon image up there. You got that nice gold / orange cockpit there. You got the paint on this front here, the red paint. Here's the side profile. Pretty good side profile. Looks really good. You got paint on the wings here on the back. You got the Decepticon logos on both sides. And then you got the red and white paint all the way down. Classic Starscream look. Here's the bottom. Not too bad. Does look like a robot, but that's how he's going to look. Here's the back. You can kind of get some boosters here if you fold these up, but then that kind of breaks the sculpt from the front. But you can get sort of a booster look there. If not, then you can just fold those up and leave it like that. All in all, pretty good mode here. Now, there are no wheels. It's kind of a disappointment. There are literally no wheels on this guy. You can set him down on these little pegs here and this peg here. He does sit nice and flat, but there are no wheels. It's just a surprise because a lot of these have had pretty good wheels. Even Hoist had a wheel on the towing piece, and this one doesn't. So it's okay. It's just not impressive in terms of like, okay, what features does it have? But overall, looking really good. And again, you get the option. You can put these kind of anywhere. If you want the classic look, you put it there, but then you get the hole underneath. So that's why I like to put them kind of on the side there. You get less of a waffly look. For comparison, here he is with the Generations RC. And you can see quite a bit bigger. Kind of makes sense as far as the size. Same for the other Earthrise. He does kind of scale well with the Earthrise figures. Overall, pretty good size, pretty good length, good scale. All right, now let's get this guy transformed back into his robot mode. First thing you want to do is take off the guns here, the null rays. Next, you can fold these up and just leave them like that. And unpeg the wings, and that's going to take a little bit of effort, but it might actually pop off like that, so that's okay. If that happens, just fold them up, push them back in. All right, on this side, now we can take care of the legs. So flip up this panel here to allow you to open these panels here, separate the legs, and pull this downwards. And it should peg in on the back. If you don't have it pegging in, make sure you get it pegged in like that. Then peg it in on the front, and that should finish the leg. Do the same thing on the other side. Peg this in, make sure it pegs in on the back first. And it is a little bit tricky, but you can get it pegged in, peg it on the front, and close it up. Make sure you fold a foot down, heel down, foot down, heel down. And then you got the legs all done. Actually, no. So you can unpeg this, fold it forward. Same thing on this side. Unpeg this, fold it forward. And now you got the legs all done. So now let's work on the upper body. So you can unpeg this from here, and that'll reveal the head right there. Unpeg this, and just leave that there for now. Then you can open up these panels, and these do peg in two spots. So you want to unpeg both spots here. If you need to, you can stick your fingernail in there and get this open and fold that out, just like that. Fold the arms out like this, and on the arms, open up this panel here, fold this down, and then close this back down, and that completes the arm. And push the hand down if you haven't done that already. Same thing on this side. Open up this panel right here, fold this down, pull this panel down, straighten out the arms, and that's done. Take the cockpit here, flip that around, accordion that down so it sits flat like that. Fold this to the back. We'll take care of that in a second. And now that you have it all pegged in, then fold this down. And make sure you have this pegged in on both sides before you fold it all the way down. And it should fit in there and there. Just like that. Okay. Let's fold the arms down. On the back side here, you can fold this all the way down to here. And fold that backwards. Take the null rays and the proper transformation, although it shows on the box in his hands, the best transformation is put in his arms to get the G1 look. And then just angle the wings just a little bit back like that. And there you have him back in his robot mode. Final thoughts wise, I think this is a great release again by Hasbro Takara Tomy. It doesn't quite measure up as good as the other Earthrise figures we've been getting. There's a couple of little things just here and there, like the gappage in the torso and some of the limitations on the overall articulation. But as far as a Starscream figure is concerned, it's pretty good. I do wish he had a little bit more articulation, but the paint, the colors, the aesthetic, everything is really nice. I like it overall from all angles. I think it's a pretty good release. So I definitely recommend this if you're collecting the Earthrise line. This has got to fit in. It's a great release. It looks really good. It's got some nice details and stuff like that. I thought I would hate these little wings sticking up on his foot, but I don't mind it at all. Honestly, in person, you really don't notice it. It just kind of sits there on the side, and it's its own little thing, so it's not a problem. So that's really it, guys. I definitely recommend this. If you're looking at the Earthrise line, this is the last of the Earthrise line I've had in recently, so hopefully we're starting to get some third-party masterpiece soon. I can get back to reviewing my traditional stuff. But that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.